Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sparkles Inspirations. How is everybody? Hurrah! We're back outside after a couple rainy days. Now we're back in our gorgeous 70s weather outside. Super sunny and breezy, and we'll see moonbeams. Apparently, we'll want to walk over the altar at least 10 times, I'm sure. No, I love the cards and the energy for today, this beautiful Thursday. It looks like we have freedom, communication, and co-creation with gracious receptivity. Hey, who doesn't want that? Now, I love anything that has to do with choice, right? Now, freedom is about you now stepping into this power to live the life that you love. It's a kind of liberation because it's our shift in perspective. Whatever the facets of freedom are, in having an inviting, enjoying time and inspiration in your life, really discovering what freedom means to you. For me, it's definitely choice in what I do with my time, my vocation, my money, overcoming limitations. I'm having unlimited creative expression. Choice over obligation is a huge thing, and tail over cards. So it really means living as you choose and feeling, like we are not chasing wealth. It's in this culture that's so materialistic, we often equate freedom with money, but ironically, chasing wealth can have the opposite effect due to the lengths we have to take for it to be acquired, right? Huge work weeks, lots of hours, very little leisure and family time. So it's possible to weave a life with really thriving alignment in our soul's calling while financially still supporting our realities. We just realized how to do that. It took me decades. I mean, I used to work before the sun even came up, and then I would come home and that was for somebody else, and then I'd come home and I'd work on my jewelry, and I just felt like I was constantly working. And oh my gosh, she's gonna be a super pill here, I can tell. So I gotta keep my hand over here because she follows where my hand goes. So with this, we're noticing that I can breathe and do whatever I want, and I can be the person who charters my own destiny. So it's it really is our perspective. We can choose to live a certain way. We don't need a dazed blur of routine. We can choose how and where we participate in things. We get off this self-perpetuating spiral, and we initiate change where it's necessary. Because I used to honestly for years think, well, I'm not going to have these benefits, or I'm not going to have that if I don't work for another company. Guess what? Now that I have decided to become self-employed, whoa, I just saw this breeze kicking up, so I better get the sticks in place. I decided, I can go about ensuring and doing things my own way. And now I'm not kidding you when I say hourly, I make 12 times what I did working for any other company that, was just so resistant to give you your raise when it was time, or so resistant to acknowledge positive reinforcement, all of those things. So not only are you physically tired when you get home, but you have very little time for the things you enjoy. But this is a step away, bringing deeper sense of freedom to situations. And limitation is only a state of mind when we think we have to do something. So a shift of perspective is going to help bring a sense of lightness of choice. Of course, I can choose to do A, B, or C and work for myself or this company, or spend this many hours doing certain things. And breaking habits sometimes of like feeling like your house has to be utterly spick and span 24/7 and just lavishing hours and hours on that and upkeep, things of that nature. This is time for your freedom to flourish and be who you want to be, and give yourself creative space to do that in. Right now, I love communication with co-creation. I do this as soon as I wake up. I start to give thanks and have the biggest sense of gratitude when I first wake up. It's nonverbal communication, love language, telepathy, unique ways of communicating, light language, multi-dimensional information, and coexisting with everything in balance. And not thinking that it's if you have this, then I have less, right? Everybody, there's enough love, money, opportunities all the time, everywhere for everybody. And when we have this sense of breadth, width, and expansive kind of Jupiter energy, we're much more generous, right? We're much more generous with our time. And it brings in present moment awareness, because we're not thinking, well, if I'm standing here listening to this person's difficulties, problems, or whatever, I'm not going to have time to relax and read later. There's always enough time for everything, in our agenda. So be present when somebody's speaking to you. You're spending that time anyway, right? Time is time. So if you're standing there, why not truly listen? It might be a life lesson for you. It might click on something. Yesterday, this happened to me exponentially. Somebody had sent me one of their stories, and I started to listen to it, and I actually started to cry because it resonated so intensely with me. So instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I have to listen to a tragedy, I'm going to get in a sad mood, I'm going to have to evaluate my feelings, I was like, listen, float above the surface of somebody else's emotions and situations. Don't dive down and drown in that and get heavy. Just, whatever is happening around you is not happening to you, so just notice it lightly, that sort of thing. And that's communication with co-creation. So also with gracious receptivity, which I love, and a lot of people are givers and it's harder for them to receive. So let's tap into this receptivity where we're ready. Gratitude, being thankful, giving without expectation. That's huge. And I'm so blessed in regard to, I think I just witnessed this around my family, so I never thought, I have to have a price attached to this gift that I'm giving somebody, because both my father and mother, aunts, everybody would just love to do these simple little acts of love and kindness for one another. And I saw what joy that brought, and it's just something innately in me. I will, if I have something and I think it's precious and somebody loves it, here you go. Things are things, who cares? But it's that simple moment of receiving it, right? It's like that Christmas Eve feeling. So I love to give that, and I really don't care about a return. I create enough abundance around me where I'm surprised, and I'm sure some of you guys are too as givers, when you receive things, it almost feels strange, right? Like, wow. But that's one of the things, and we realize it's thriving over surviving. It's, gifting is love, and self-love can affect our capacity to receive and give without depletion. So when you love yourself and you have enough and you're in balance and you're kind of in that beautiful lane, it's like it feels wonderful to give, and you don't miss that. But I will say, do you remember a ways back over on my Instagram, I had won an auction for 100, I think it was 160 plus citrine. So right away I just had a giveaway with it. Somebody won it. It just arrived the other day, finally. I tell you what, I shouldn't have opened it up and handled it, because that was the first time I was thinking, maybe this got lost in the mail. But I always honor everything on that scale. And, I always feel like if you tell somebody you are going to deliver something, I have that like true north compass. But that was one thing where I was like, whoa, for a moment. And here's the cool thing about having or owning something. It's really just that initial pop, right, that is so fantastic. And then sometimes just think of like a shirt you bought, you were like, I'm always going to wash this on the extreme care cycle and hang it out, and by the third time you wore it, you're banging it in there with your jeans and everything else, right? Because it's that initial care of something new and that little sparkle and caring for it. So that's the thing that I love about gracious receptivity is, why not? Somebody's junk is another person's treasure. So why not hand things on? And when people give things to you, always be gracious and have that innate gratitude for being able to, right? Again, it's when we shift our perspective from what we're lacking, needing, or desiring, we temporarily replace that survival factor with that resonance of thriving. We have everything, and that's what present moment awareness is. When you're in the present moment, like this is what I'm doing, I'm making a video, I'm petting moonbeams, that's all I'm thinking about, that's all I'm experiencing. So there's no lack here. There's just wonderful participation in these two events that I'm doing, right? Because my head and heart space is in it. It's not an, oh, how am I going to pick up this, create that, do that, pay that, anything of that nature, because I don't like to skip into the future because I miss what's happening now. And that's also where we're receptive to our angel and ancestor signs, our own intuition, the beauty of nature and what's going on around us, all of that. And one of the best tricks to bring something into your life is to be already thankful for it, right? As if it's already here. This really sets up the frequency of fullness and plenty rather than emptiness or need. So as I mentioned before, like attracts like, but there's a whole other power at play here. As true gratitude is anchored in our heart, we already feel abundant and like we have everything we need. And because of that, we resonate that. So more comes our way. So beautiful energy for today, this gorgeous Thursday, everybody. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And if you guys subscribe over here and you come follow me on Instagram, you're in the running for this week's giveaway. It's the Goddess Provisions box, as well as, I forgot what's going on this week. Oh yeah, these beautiful real gold and turquoise evil eye earrings that I made. They came out spectacular. So there's 2 different contests. So come on over. Each week I do something. This week I'm doubling up because Goddess Provisions came in. And, all you guys that follow and participate in all my fun wackiness and bird of the day and giveaways over there on IG, thank you so much for your great feedback. I swear half the time I'm tearing up when you guys leave me messages and, where you're like, I really needed to hear this today. I'm going through A, B, and C. It's remarkable. We're all in this together so we can care and share and be more aware. It's helpful in every way, shape, or form. So again, you guys, all my links are down below for my main channel, which is Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I do big love, life. The next one's gonna be November, what's coming in November. All of those things. And if you need a private read or anything else, come on down. So love and light to you guys.